Greetings, everyone. Welcome to our TabSite webinar on 7 Steps to Success with Facebook Timeline for Pages. My name is Mike Gingrich, and I'll be joined today by fellow TabSite co-founder Troy Rumfeld. Just so you know, this webinar is being recorded, and it is a focus webinar with a special focus on Facebook marketing specifically. So we're looking forward to being with you today. And I'm going to turn it over to Troy for next steps here.
All right, thanks a lot, Mike. Today, if you have questions during the webinar, we would prefer that you post those questions to our fan page at facebook.com/TabSite. We will be monitoring that, and we have pinned a post at the top there that says we're live, and there's a blue icon there as well. If you would start adding comments there, we will answer those questions via our fan page. You can always tweet us at hashtag TabSite if you choose, but we prefer you use our fan page for questions throughout this webinar. So here's the reminder also that one attendee will be drawn to win a free for life TabSite Gold at the end of the webinar today. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully you'll be the winner of the new TabSite for Gold. So we'll announce that at the end of the day. Plus, we're going to announce a special discount offer that's going to be available only to webinar attendees. It'll be available for 24 hours after the webinar, and we will announce that again at the end of the webinar. It'll be a special code we'll put on there, and you'll be able to enter that code and get a special deal off of TabSite. So stay tuned for that as well, and look for that special deal. And as always, we will be having our video available within 8 to 12 hours of the finish of this webinar. So those of you who did not make the webinar live can always check that out at any time. If you want to go back and revisit a certain section of this, you can check out the webinar in about 8 to 12 hours. That'll be up and posted live to everybody who's attended. With that, I'm going to hand it back over to Mike, and he's going to talk to you about the agenda for the day.
Yeah, so on the screen in front of you, you see our quick agenda for the day that we're going to be taking a look at Facebook current trends, what's happening and what you need to be aware of, and then we're going to dive in and spend the bulk of our time on our 7 steps to success and giving you some specific, concrete success strategies that we believe you can implement right away, and they're going to make a difference, things that we want you to be aware of, things that we've learned, that we've seen. And we're also going to be talking about some advanced page strategies as well with that. And, of course, then at the end, we're going to have a question and answer time. We'll go through the winner of the TabSite and give you the special deal code. So that's going to be our focus for today. So we want to dive in with the Facebook current trends to begin with. And if you've been paying attention with Facebook's IPO launch last week, they've been talking a lot about how many users Facebook has, and they're going to hit 1 billion this year. It's scheduled for somewhere in the August-September realm. But if you take a look at this infographic that's outlining, this is from a survey done by Booz & Company along with Buddy Media on the priority social media platform, and this is a respondents reporting what they see as priority and in terms of their use of it. And you can just see from this one that Facebook continues to be the dominant one, and with 900 plus million users and scheduled to hit 1 billion, they continue to be on a growth trend, and that's without China being tapped at all, and some other emerging markets as well globally. One of the other current trends that's just very important to be aware of is outlined here. So I've got like 6 boxes for you and just want to go over them quickly. So this is, Facebook continues to be a dominant place where people are spending time. So that's why it's important, because they are accessing Facebook, and there's just a lot of activity happening here. And so if you can, with your business, get in there, your organization, and intersect with people while they're spending time on Facebook, you have another opportunity to reach them. So what we're talking about here is, just some stats: 250 million photos uploaded daily. I mean, just monstrous. And it has overtaken as the number one photo hosting outlet on the web, entirely. And 2.7 billion likes every day, and that's likes of pages, likes of comments, but people are active on it. 37 million pages with at least 10 plus likes, and that's even from February. I've seen stats that's well over 40, and that's just with 10 likes on a page at a minimum. And the growth of mobile, Troy's going to talk about that a little bit, but that continues to be one of the hot trends for Facebook, is that people are accessing it on their mobile devices. You see the gender split there, and just to note that of the dominant percentage of females at this point, a little bit higher. But what I wanted to focus on a little bit was right here, the 20 minutes time spent per visit. Okay, per visit, people are spending 20 minutes on Facebook, and we're going to dive into that a little bit further and break that down. But that dwarfs any other social media platform of where people are spending time, and that's per visit. So that's when they're coming on and spending that much time, and some people are doing that 2 to 3 times per day. So again, this is a place where you have access to people and to communicate with them, and so we want to show you how to do that in our 7 steps today. So that's what we're going to be diving into a little bit more. Now back to Troy.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. This slide up here shows 50% of those 900 million users log in daily and are active within Facebook. Those are phenomenal numbers. I always like to kind of recap those numbers and look at them, and they're just mind-blowing. We have, of those 9 million, we have 450 million users that are logging in and active on their fan page. This is where the people are, and we look at this from a little different perspective. If you're a real estate investor or buying a business, you want to put that property or that business where the people are. And right now, in a virtual world, Facebook is where the people are, and that's where everybody is gravitating towards. We saw those graphs earlier showing that they're the dominant social media. I think we all already knew that, but at the same time, those numbers are simply mind-blowing, and they really are where you need to be as a business. If you're trying to get your business in front of people and be successful out there, Facebook is the place for you. Yeah, of those 900 users, or 900 million users, 450 million of which are active every day, 45+% access Facebook via a mobile device on a daily manner. So they log in with their iPhone or their Android or their mobile device and check their status on a mobile platform. So again, you want to be available to them. You want your business in front of them, even on a mobile device. So posting to your newsfeed and getting the post out there is a one way to do that, because they're always going to check that newsfeed. As TabSite as a platform, we also offer mobile URLs that allow you to post a mobile URL, so that way, if they click that URL from a mobile device, they can still see your tab content, because right now tab content is still not available on mobile devices. So that's one way to get that tab content out there via TabSite from a mobile device. So I guess the moral there is just simply be active and keep posting, keep yourself in front of those potential clients.
Yeah, one thing I'll add to that, Troy, is that I just saw some statistics recently that in some nations, and and I believe that the U.S. was included in that more people are accessing Facebook on their mobile device than on a PC for the first time. So more active users in the last 30-day time period were accessing it on mobile than on a PC for the first time. So that's just something that's significant to be aware of. And Facebook just rolled out a app that for the iPhone at least, and they're looking at others, so you can post to your Facebook page via a iPhone. Making it easier there. You could within their Facebook app, but this one is specifically geared for pages. And as Troy mentioned, we're going to dive into this a little bit further, but we have made it possible so that mobile viewers can access your custom tabs on a mobile device when using TabSite and our mobile URL. So we're going to talk about that. But the screen in front of you, just want to talk a little bit, an overview of this. So What we're talking about is the fan cycle and the ability to engage them, influence them, and work with them. So up at the top, we're starting with a visitor who somehow has come to your fan page, and one of our goals immediately, so that we can communicate with them, is going to be to get them to like the page, and then we want to engage them because that makes it so that there's newsfeed visibility in their newsfeed. And then we're going to talk about expanding your influence, which ultimately leads to a goal of a purchase, contracting your company, your services, your products, and becoming a advocate, sharing your fan page, your information, your company, so that the cycle repeats and their friends become engaged with you. So this is what we're going to dive into a little bit further today, and with our 7 steps. So without further ado, I'm just going to dive right into that. And the first one, as we're talking about this, is you must get the users to like your page, because that's how you can continue to communicate with them. It's just very important. Step 1 is continuing to find ways to get them to like the page, because if they haven't liked your page, then this is how your company appears in their newsfeed. Okay, you see that empty box? Nothing. Exactly. Because the bulk of time people spend on Facebook, they're going to spend in their newsfeed. We're going to talk about that a little bit more. So what you need to do is to ensure that you have helped capture the like when they're first there, engage them enough to have them take that little step to like the page, so that you can communicate with them in an ongoing fashion. It's a threshold that people are willing to do to like the page, and it's an important step for you in your overall Facebook marketing success. So we want to dive into that a little bit further. I'm going to turn it over to Troy.
Right. So the second strategy for getting likes is what is called a like gate or fan gating. It's a technique to invite liking to the page, and what it is kind of a page or an image in front of your content on a tab. I know when the timeline thing came out, everybody was thinking that this was no longer valid. You couldn't select a like gate. Like gates still work, and they still are available with any tab. So with a tab, you can create a like gate. As you can see with this example, it says, we like you, will you like us, with an arrow kind of pointing up, enticing them to like your page. And this is a great strategy on getting likes, and it requires them to like your page before you give them more information, or before they move on to a contest or a video or whatever that might be. So like gating is a great strategy for gaining new likes. Another thing we recommend in linking the Facebook icons. Every website out there now has their Facebook icon out there with a link that goes to their timeline page, or their main Facebook URL. We're saying, don't simply link to your Facebook URL. Link to a specific tab within your fan page, giving them specific information on your product or service. So make that Facebook icon link directly to that tab, and that'll get you more interactivity. Maybe it links right to that like gate, like we talked before, enticing them to like your product before they move on. They can always go back to the timeline and view your post information if they choose, but pushing them directly to information, we think, is a much more important way and a much more engaging way to get likes. Via TabSite, we do have the mobile-friendly URL, and this is an important thing to look at, because tabs right now, as they stand on a mobile device, they don't show up. You can't get information on tab content. So what we've done is we've created a mobile URL. You get that mobile URL, you make that mobile URL your link, and then when they click on that URL, we redirect them and push them to show them the content on those tabs. So it's kind of a little back-end trick that we do to show information on the fan page that can't normally be seen on mobile devices. So a great technique and a great idea and a great way to get people engaged with your fan page. I'll pass over to Mike for number 3.
Troy, let me just ask you one question related to that right now, and that is, explain or tell me about the difference that if I go to my Facebook fan page on a PC and I go to one of my custom tabs and I grab that URL, versus going within the TabSite manager here and getting this URL. So is this one valid just for mobile devices?
Right. No, it's not valid just for mobile devices. I mean, it'll work on both ways. It kind of detects mobile if there is mobile, but if there's no mobile device available, that URL will still work on a PC. So you can use it either way. It gives you that option. So if they are on that mobile device, you go to the mobile safe content. If not, then you simply just go to the fan page. So it does do some detection behind the scenes there.
Very good, yeah. So that's why we're recommending that you use that mobile URL, just because that one will work either way. So when you take your information to your Facebook fan page wall and post that link in there related to your tab, then this will help people find you quickly. So I want to move on to strategy number 3, which is engagement. And we're talking about when we're talking about engagement, we're talking about newsfeed visibility. Newsfeed visibility and activity. So what you have on the right is just a glimpse of a fan page timeline newsfeed, and what we need to do is post here in ways that are engaging, so that we ultimately are drawing people in. Because here is one of the big statistics that is important for today, is that when you post on your fan page timeline, stats are showing that 84% of your fans are not seeing that in their newsfeed. Okay, when you post, 84% of fans are not seeing that in their newsfeed, and that's because of a lack of prior engagement with you. So it's all tied to engagement. Facebook is trying to give them relevant newsfeed information. So if you take a look at where people spend time when they're on Facebook, the vast majority of a person's time is spent in their newsfeed. Okay, so when they're logging on via a PC or a mobile device, they're taking a look at their newsfeed. What is happening today? All right, and they're seeing what's happening with their friends. They're also seeing what's happening with pages they have liked. So you want to appear here, and this is what we're trying to drive home, is the importance of appearing there. And just by posting on your fan page wall does not mean that a user is seeing your information. This is something that is critical to your success, and critical to helping you complete that cycle and boost your visibility and expand your potential network from people who have liked your page into the friends who of theirs as well. So winning the newsfeed means getting likes, shares, and comments on posts. Okay, so when someone first comes to your fan page and they've liked the page, that's the first step. Okay, now when you post your next update on your Facebook page timeline, your goal is to get users to interact with that, so that there's and what we mean by interaction is that they're liking it, they're sharing it, or they're commenting. And those do have some different weights. Okay, a like is the simplest threshold, and if they like something, then there's a over the course of time, if they've liked a number of posts from your page, there's a greater chance that Facebook is going to display your posts in their newsfeed. Okay, if they've commented on it, that's even a stronger action. So if you can get someone to comment on one of your posts, even while they're there the first time or one of the next times, then that influences the Facebook's EdgeRank algorithm to give more opportunity for your post to be seen in their newsfeed, and as well the share, and that's where they're sharing your post, your comment on either their Facebook profile or on their own page. And that takes that's another step up in terms of credibility and what Facebook is identifying as their interest in your page, that you have liked it enough, you have shared their information. So their interactions with your post is what helps you to be seen going forward. couple tips on this. Winning the newsfeed, all right? And because you want to get them to engage, one of the best things you can do is ask questions, okay? And if you see the example on the right that I have up there from Coffee Mate that they recently put out there, it says, today I'll need blank cups of coffee. What is that inviting you to do? Clearly inviting you to comment and say, I'm going to need 3, I'm going to need 5, I'm going to need 4, whatever it is. But they're trying to get you to engage, to comment, to put a number in there. So that's the way they frame that it invites a response. Okay, so that's a definite thing to consider is, take a look at your post before you put it out there, and is it framed in the sense that it's asking for, inviting a response, or in this case, a fill in the blank, so it's clearly asking. Okay, a second item you can do is ask for the like. I just gave you a quick example there. Click like if whatever your post is. So these are precursors that you can add to your post to invite users to interact with it. And again, a like is not a strong threshold for people to cross. They're willing to like items, but by so doing, that's important because that gives you credibility to appear in their news feed. Okay. The other thing you can do is to invite sharing simply by a phrase such as, hey, share this pic of that type of thing. So and again, you have to think through that. Is it relevant? What's going to be helpful? But think through the mindset of the individual and how can you engage them? What is a question that they might answer? What is something that they're going to be willing to like? Hey, do you like our new product shown here? Give us a like if you've seen this, that type of thing. So that is important, but it's all about those interactions because their interactions over the course of time helps determine how much of their information is coming, of your information, I should say, is coming into their news feed, and that's where they're spending the most time. And again, that's why Facebook is unique and important because, for example, if they came to your website, okay, maybe they spend 5 minutes, 10 minutes on your website and they've left, what is your website's opportunity to get back in front of them in the future? Well, I don't know. They'd have to go back to that site. But on Facebook, if they've come, if they've liked your page, they've looked around, spent some time there, and you've gotten them to interact with it, now when they come back to Facebook, which they're going to spend time on, 50% of the people are logging in daily, spending 20 minutes per visit, okay, then you have that newsfeed opportunity, and you have an opportunity to be in front of them, and by posting in a way that's engaging, you can get them to like or share or comment, then you have even more chance of being in their newsfeed for them to see in the future. So here's the cycle. Increased engagement means increased visibility of your page in their newsfeed, which ultimately is going to increase your sales potential because the more they see you, the more they have opportunity to interact with you, the more they have opportunity to interact with you, the more they are sharing your information with others. So back to Troy for number 4.
All right, thanks, Mike, and that's good stuff there. This infographic from Pandemic Labs is one I really like. It really speaks well, and it basically tells you that photos get the most engagement, which it also tells us that what most brands are doing is exactly opposite of that. They're posting links, they're making status updates, which are important, and you need to incorporate that information in there. But what this shows us is that what fans engage with the most on Facebook are photos, and then next in line is videos, and then status, and then links, and versus what pages post on Facebook. So most fan pages post links, status, video, and photos. They kind of do the opposite of what they're supposed to do there. So what this tells us is post engaging content, you're going to get more likes, more shares, more exposure, more viral exposure out there when posting photos and videos. So some recommendations are, if you are a company that has products it's a no-brainer. Take a photo of that product, put it out there, maybe put a little caption on it, or show that product, with in its application, whatever it may be, to kind of get people engaged and get them thinking about that product, get it in front of them. You're more likely to get engagement at that time. Another thing that we recommend doing as well is post to photo albums for the best visual impact. And here's an example of a post that we've posted to an album as opposed to posting just in the status, a photo in the status. So what it does, it gives you a larger image. That's the big bang for the buck. The image is 403 pixels wide, as opposed to probably about 25% of that if you post that within the photo area of the status. You're not posting to a photo album. So this is an example of an uploaded with a caption and a link with description. So it's got a link in there. It's more engaging. As you can see, there's a lot of people who have liked it. There's 31 comments. It makes it a lot easier to do that. So with this being said, this up here as well, it is an actual post here. Facebook will be removing all FBML tabs on June 6th. So that's coming right up. Fan page, Facebook fan page admins using static FBML tabs must change to an iframe app or use something like TabSite. I mean, we highly recommend TabSite for this. We're a great replacement for static FBML. That's one of the main reasons we developed TabSite, is as an alternative to static FBML. We feel like it's a great product, a great replacement. So, notably post to those photo albums, but also be aware that Facebook will be removing those FBML tabs, so be aware of that as well.
All right, and just a quick note going back to that post there. If you take a look at that one in detail, again, 65 people like that, and 31 made comments on that, where 120 actually shared that, either on their profile or on their Facebook page. So again, that post got significant engagement there, and that's, and even if you look at that one, that was the larger picture one, but it was like a public service announcement. Didn't even really have a question in the text there. So again, you need to post tactfully, you need to post relevant information, you need to be helpful, and people are willing to share helpful information. All right, so as I dive into strategies, the number 5 is learning about when to post. When to post on your Facebook page is critical to your success. And here was a study that was done last year, and that study noted that brands posting outside of business hours had a 20% higher engagement rate. Okay, 20% higher outside of the 9 to 5 time period. And engagement rate again is the number of likes, number of comments, the number of shares. Okay, so I want you to note that was this report saying outside the 9 to 5, 20% higher engagement. And then here's another one, just came out recently by Bitly, and their most recent data was showing that links posted from 1 to 4, now again, that's within a 9 to 5, resulted in the highest clicks, with the peak time of the week being Wednesday at 3 p.m. All right, so in just a little over 30 minutes from now is the peak time. So maybe as soon as you get off this webinar, it's time to post something on your Facebook page. But just wanted to note that. So when to post is critical, and we've had some information. Again, it's going to be largely based on to some degree on your industry as well. When is the people you're trying to reach available to engage? When are they having the opportunity? When can you most reach them in a time period where they're interested in engaging? So, and you can tell that, largely from, taking a look at your insights on your Facebook page. Facebook does give you extensive insights on the reach of each post, and so you can, get some information then on when are good times to post, what success you've had. You need to kind of watch some of your trends. There's information out there that can help you, but I just wanted to point this out as well, that we're seeing some of the peak times in the afternoon now, 1 to 4, and Wednesday at 3. So that time period's coming up. Now, one of the ways to post outside of normal business hours is to use a tool like our sister service, Plan Your Post. Okay, so Plan Your Post, does allow you to schedule ahead. So in case you want something to go out at 3 o'clock, but you're otherwise engaged, you can set something to go and post at that point in time. Plan, schedule, monitor, respond with a tool, like Plan Your Post. So that's just one example there of a tool that can be used. There's others out there, but knowing when is critical, and you can do that by taking a look at your insights, understanding your posts. So if you try some out, and if you're posting between 8 and 9 in the morning, and compare those to posts that you're doing between 11 and 1 in the middle of the day, compared to posts in that 3 to 5 o'clock time period. And I saw another study done that, and again, I think it makes sense that the lowest activity was after 8 p.m. And again through earlier than 8 a.m., which I think makes sense for dominant users in their life cycle.
Right. So Plan Your Post, a great tool to schedule posts and so forth. The number 6, boost engagement with promos. Draw in and build engagement with contests, giveaways, promos. We recommend utilizing contest, photo contest, as well as sweepstakes and giveaways to gather information from people, as well as get that like, which is what it's all about. If you can get that like, you can get in front of those people, and if they can see your product, 6 to 7 times more likely to take action on that product or purchase or engage with that product even further. So, TabSite has both sweepstakes and contests. Running those sweepstakes and contests, we also recommend, as I talked about earlier, introducing that like gate in front of them. So you can enter our sweepstakes, however, you must like our page prior to doing so. So if you're going to give away $500, make sure you get that like from them. That way you're in front of them and you can see them, or they can see your products on an ongoing basis. So you can get that out there. Also, kind of back to that Plan Your Post thing. If you have to plan out posts and so forth, if you have a sweepstakes going and so forth, it's a great idea to continually kind of drip out that information, let people know on your wall that you have a contest or a sweepstakes going on, and that you will be enticing them to enter that information. So getting it out there is a great way to do that. Social sharing features are very important. With our contest, we have the tweet, the G+, the send, the like. It's important to keep all that information on there upon entry and upon voting. Fan sharing is vital. It's a vital piece to make that viral. So keeping that information there and in front of them is crucial to contest, and TabSite offers all those social interactions with their sweepstakes and contest. So it's a good way to help push that out there, get it viral, and get more exposure for your brand.
Yeah, Troy, this is Mike. Just wanted to comment on this one. This is a contest that's currently live by a page in Brazil, and they're having tremendous success, and they do a combination of things. But if you notice, just on this one, this is one entry. So this cute baby here is one entry. 180 likes just on that baby itself. So this fan page has somewhere around 46,000 fans last time I looked, and they are getting a tremendous amount of activity on this. And I have noticed that they do a strong Twitter campaign as well. So just like Troy was talking about, they're doing some cross social platform marketing that way, making sure they're getting information out. And of course, each of these entries then has the ability to tweet that, which links back to this specific entry. So that's that way people can say, hey, I voted for this one. This is my kid or my favorite baby picture, and it leads them right back to this, and they can peruse those. But this fan page is doing it well, doing it in grand fashion, and getting a lot of engagement just based on offering a simple contest to upload and showcase their favorite baby image there. So as we get into the seventh strategy, what we want to talk about here, and this is new and coming because of timeline. Facebook changed the way pages were laid out in March of this year, and rolled out the new Facebook timeline for pages. And one of the big keys was just the arrangement of that timeline cover page. And so what I have here is an old fan page layout of the Dallas Cowboys on the left, and the current Facebook timeline page layout of the Dallas Cowboys on the right. And there was a study done, and this was reported in Mashable here about within the last month, of some of the eye tracking statistics here. And so on the one on the left, at the top of the page, you can see 26% of the people were seeing that first post, and 65% saw the logo on the left. And if you go down a little bit, 22% actually saw the name of the custom tabs. All right, that's the old stuff. Okay, but you take a look at the right side now, and the cover image. 100% of the people that came to the Dallas Cowboys page in this eye tracking study saw the cover image. And what was number 2 in that list was right below it, 88%, and that was the large custom tab images, those 111 by 74s. And so your timeline cover image and your tab large tab images, which leads to your tabs, are critical assets that you need to pay attention to and take a look at on a regular basis. So let's dive into this a little further now. And I've titled this one, clean with pop. Okay, what do I mean by that? Clean means not too much going on. Okay, so as you look at this one, I think they're doing a good job with being clean in this sense, because when the season kicks off, and who they're going to play. All right, this is the official page of the Dallas Cowboys, Cowboys versus Giants on September 5th. All right, so it has a cleanness to it. You don't want to have too much activity going on your timeline cover image. And as well, of course, Facebook has some guidelines on your cover image. And so, for your cover image, they don't want you to have any type of call to action, such as, 40% off, or they don't want you to have your contact information, such as a website address or your email on that cover image. They're saying do that in the About section. All right. So they're not saying such as like or share on that cover image or get it now, that type of thing. They're wanting it clean. So clean is important. Limit the text is what I say there. And now let's drop your eyes down into my red rectangle there. And what we're talking about here is a couple things. Number one, what jumps out at you and when. Okay, they've done that great. I mean, it contrasts with the entire page in terms of color. It's that red when captures your eye, and so you're going to be more likely to click on that. All right. Now, what I'm going to do in critiquing them is to say the 4.6 million is a waste of space. Totally a waste of their space to use that. Okay, because do I really care that they have 4.6 million fans? Maybe I do, but they're already giving me that information to the left of that, right under the name Dallas Cowboys. 4,699,000 likes. Okay, so that is already there. So it's wasted space here. All right. So don't waste your space with your like count, but take a look at ways you can drive people in deeper to your fan page. I also think that the one to the right of the win, which is the Dallas Cowboys star, is weak. It says you have to look down below it, Dallas Cowboys e-gift. But does that star tell me anything? And that's actually the third one in front of my eyes right here. So again, it's not drawing me in to say, hey, I want to get the e-gift. All right. So click for e-gift would have been a better large tab image right there. because, again, as we saw in that study, 100% of the people with eye tracking, when they come to a Facebook page, we're taking a look and spending a number of seconds on that timeline cover image. Okay, clean and limited text is good. Then the next highest percentage was those custom tabs. You want to capture them because that's how you're going to drive them in further to your area and keep them with you. Just want to point out that within TabSite, we try to make this easy for you. When you're creating custom tabs in the TabSite Manager, we give you the ability to upload a new cover image. It's on the left there. That's what I'm pointing to, my lower left of the screen, the arrow. And the arrow above that is on any tab, you can upload a new 111 by 74 large logo image there. All right. Now, we are recommending as well that you do change your timeline cover image up some. Okay. You don't want to be doing it multiple times a week. But I think that every 2 weeks, or something like that, you'll see some that they're kind of using that as a trend to just give a little something different on there. There's nothing outlandish, but again, when you do upload that does show up as an item in your news feed, and so people can say they'll see the image of it, click through to go look at that. But these are critical assets because when people come to your page, they're making decisions. 100% of them are looking at that timeline cover image. So how are you doing with that image? Okay, and if you got them to come back, they're going to see it again. So 2 weeks later, do you want to have the same thing up, or maybe something a little bit different? And then as well, how are you helping them understand what's behind those tabs and driving them deeper within? So as we get ready for some questions here, and we've got a number that are coming in, so we want to address all of these. I want you to remember the cycle. Okay, number one, you're trying to drive people to your fan page. They're a visitor. They're either coming from an email link, they're coming from a blog, they're searching for you, they're coming from a website. You want to get them to like the page because that's your gateway to continue to communicate with them. Okay, but they're only going to see you if you can get them to engage. So you want to tactfully find ways, asking those open-ended questions to get them to engage so that your greater newsfeed visibility, your page in their newsfeed. All right, and what that does is as they engage with you, that expands your influence in their sphere, because then there's the potential for their fans and their connections to see their interactions with you, which ultimately can lead to them engaging with your product, your service, which through that is going to extend your influence to be recommended by them to their friends, to their network, which again starts the cycle over. So this is the cycle, and it's important to dig into it and take a look at those key components as we went over today. So we're going to get some questions here, and Troy's been monitoring them while I've been giving you this last item here. So what do we got, Troy?
Sure. We have a question about how to tips for planning to start a contest and so forth, and what you can do to help engage. And we went through some of that stuff. I mean, I think the big key to that is simply know your audience. I think if you know your audience and put that out there to the proper audience, and if you're doing a photo contest, you want to go to photographers. If you're doing a contest, whatever it might be, just know your audience and know that audience. If you are doing a sweepstakes, make sure you're giving away a prize that somebody's going to want, and not just getting some fluff information. Make sure it's engaged and maybe focused on that individual. So that's some ways to help engage in a contest and so forth.
Troy, tell them about kind of the newer contest feature where a page admin can feature just their products for people to vote on.
Oh yeah, sure. No, thanks, Mike. The contest feature we have out now, but prior you could have other people enter your contest. Now you can actually create your own contest. So if I have a new company and I want to put up a logo or multiple logos that I have 5, and I want to let the people out there choose, I can create my own contest, put that information up there, and allow them to choose what logo is the best for that contest. Or if I have a new product out there and say I'm a fashion designer, I have 5 new coats, I can let them vote on what's going to go live and so forth. So allows you to kind of do it yourself as opposed to having only fan-generated content in there.
All right, I see a question here, Catherine. Yes, we are recording this webinar, and we will make it live within 8 to 12 hours afterwards. We'll be sending that a link out to that to everyone who registered. We'll also be posting that on our Facebook page itself. Let's see, Troy, there was another question. Am I understanding that it is better to put a photo in an album instead of doing a post and uploading a photo? Okay, so we might need to break that one down a little bit. You want to tackle that one?
I can start on that. I mean, I guess kind of what we're saying is you get larger real estate with posting to an album out there, and you can post an album. You can put comments on that and so forth, and a description out there as well. I think what we're getting at. Yeah, you can always post just straight photos into albums and so forth. But I think posting and making a description in there is key, and it's just a better idea to do that than to just simply post an image through the status. It's just you get a smaller image that way, other than posting to an album.
Yeah, and I'll add to that if you've just seen Facebook made a change in the mobile version to show the image, and again with more real estate, like they do on the timeline. So again, if you're posting a photo, and I don't know that we're necessarily, we might be saying the same thing, Jane, in the sense that posting a photo to an album or posting a photo, well, that photo is going to go to an album. We're talking about posting a photo, which gives you the large version, which is done instead of or in comparison to posting a link where Facebook pulls in a image from that link. Okay, so anytime they're pulling in an image from that link, they're going to be pulling in something smaller, and I think we can easily go to ours. So this is what we're talking about with a larger one. And okay, let me give you some time here. All right, so the TabSite webinar was the larger version, which appears in full force. But okay, to the left here, this little one where it says boost engagement, prepping your Facebook contest for launch. All right, that's an example of a link that was posted, and on that link, it pulled in the little image. And so we're talking about the larger images get better real estate. So here was an example. Yes or no, do you want to learn how to best utilize Facebook's $100 billion service to boost your own business? All right, so we're asking, a question there. So that's what we're talking about when we're talking about posting images. And Troy, you got another question?
Sure. We had a question in regards to frequency of posting and how often I should post. It's always an ongoing question, and there's no really exact answer to that. But you got to know your audience a little bit there. And if you're a restaurant and you serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner, it's no problem to post 3-4 times a day, letting people know what's out there and try to keep people engaged and so forth. If you're a business that it's really about posting engaging content, and if you have engaging content, people are going to interact. So if you get those likes and get those shares, keep posting and so forth. But if they start dropping off, maybe you're posting too often, and it's kind of a delicate line there. But make sure the key is to be posting that engaging content that people are going to be liking, going to be sharing, going to be interacting with.
All right, and there was a question about posts, when using a third-party application like Plan Your Post. Does that hurt your visibility? Doesn't Facebook limit your posts? And that used to be the case. Even as recently as this past winter, they were doing some collapsing of posts from third-party applications. And because of some outcry and some different things and changes they've made, particularly with Timeline, that is not the case hardly at all anymore. You're not seeing collapsed posts that you used to there. So that is definitely changing the tide. That posting from a third party is Facebook has expanded their API and that capability, and so with expanding their API, they have to give people access to see those and show those, and they are doing that. So that addresses that one. Let's see. There was a question. Can you post to an album via Plan Your Post? Yes, absolutely. And there's a question about contests. Can I limit people to one vote in contest? Troy, tell them about the voting options.
No, you can have people vote daily. You can have them. You can choose how many times they might vote as well. You can just have them vote once if you choose. You have options there with the contest to allow them to vote multiple different ways or amount of times as well. Another quick question from Facebook here is, with the importance of pictures, are you going to have interaction with Pinterest? And we actually definitely have that in the time, in our timeline and so forth. We want to keep that out there. However, Pinterest has not opened up their API. They've kind of taken that down to kind of rework that a little bit. We're excited and we're waiting for the API to come out there so that we can integrate Pinterest further into TabSite. What I will say, Pinterest is a great service, and if you're pinning things like infographics and things like that on Pinterest, you also want to post those on your fan page to engage that content. Pinterest is great, and you can get out there and you can have a lot of followers and so forth, but you can also get great advantage by posting that to your own fan page and getting some interaction with it there as well.
All right, there was a question on engagement. So when you post to your Facebook timeline, and are you getting into the news feed for only the person that engaged? No, not necessarily, but you have a greater chance of getting into the feed for the person that engaged. Okay, so again, Facebook has the EdgeRank algorithm. They're trying to give you relevant information, and one of their ways of determining what is relevant is based on what you have interacted with in the past. People, fan pages, that type of thing. And so that's why, number one, somebody has to be on Facebook and looking at their news feed at the time you post to have the opportunity of seeing that go out at that point in time. And, number two, then whether out of all the things that could show up in their news feed, Facebook is weighting that based on some of their past interactions with you. So the more that you have a track record of interacting with them, getting them to engage with you, the more they deem your information relevant to them, they'd be interested in, that they will show that. And, one quick statistic as well is that the vast majority of likes and comments come within the first 30 seconds of a post going live. All right, so that track record of when people are going to engage, whether they're going to like it, comment on it, or share that. The vast majority, the bulk of that happens in the first 30 seconds of that when it goes live, and then that there is a long tail, but that tail goes down in terms of engagement going forward.
We had a question via Facebook in regards to polling and surveys. Are they a great way to engage? If so, how often should it be done? Again, there's no magic number as far as how often it should be done. You want to put them out there, and yes, they are great ways to engage people and bring them in. I know Facebook offers some of these tools as well for fan pages, and it is a good way. With the proper question out there, you can get some good engagement with those, and get some likes and so forth with that as well. So yeah, I think they are out there. How often they should be done is a tough question. It just, you don't want to bombard people with too many questions. I think putting one out there and seeing how it goes and see how much interaction you get is kind of a test. See where that ends up, and then possibly moving into more later down the way, depending on how that one is working out for you.
All right, there was a question about mobile again, and there was a question early on that asked if we'd seen the Facebook's new mobile device for pages for the iPhone, and yes, we have seen that, interacted with that. It is pretty basic in the sense that it'll show you all the pages that you're an admin of. You can see the news feed. You can post in that news feed. You can post a photo to your fan page from that, and you can see some basic insights on that. They're not similar to their Facebook app for the iPhone. They're not giving you access to custom tabs. So again, what we talked about early on, the method to do that is to go into the TabSite manager, and when you're in that TabSite manager, find the tab that you want to post on. If you go to save and get mobile URL, we generate a URL for you that would be visible that you can use in your newsfeed then. So you'd copy this URL and use that in your post. Again, going back to your timeline, if you posted something in your timeline and use our URL, so if somebody clicks on that, regardless of whether they're on a PC or a mobile device, they'd be able to see it. So again, you can take that URL and you can tweet that out, you can Google Plus that, and you can use any other mechanism, and however they click on that link, whether they're on a PC or a mobile, we can take them to your custom tab. So that's what we're talking about there. Troy, we're getting into the IPO. What do you think about the recent wobble in the market? Well, is that going to hurt Facebook in the long run?
Right, sure. So, it's hard to say. I can't predict the future. I don't think that it will. I think there's a lot of room for growth with Facebook still, and in users, as well as there's opportunity there in the mobile platform for a little bit of advertising that they can incorporate in there. I think they will do that. I also think they're going to be coming out with a lot more innovative features out there that we probably haven't even thought of yet. So I believe they've got a great plan. I still think it's a good. Personally, think it's a good stock to be in. I think they've got a lot of money behind them, as we all know. Looks like from the news today that there may be a lawsuit at hand. I'm not sure what to make of that. Honestly, I don't think it will hurt the share price and anything like that. I think that'll kind of be an internal issue, but you never know. I mean that's that type of stuff happens. So I'm still thinking it's a rock solid investment, and I think there's a lot of room for growth and advertising for them, and as well as just aggregating data for people about their users.
All right, here just trying to glimpse through to see what we've got left here. And we have some questions about a Lightgate. Yes, I mean Lightgate is per tab, and TabSite does offer that Lightgate. There's another question: should our cover pages be a generic image that represents the company, or should it be a logo, name, etc.?
Right. So Facebook does have a little bit of a rule set on that, and they don't allow you to put they don't recommend you putting web URLs and things like that in your cover image. I kind of recommend using the logo as your icon, and then putting branding information behind that, so to kind of reinforce that brand. Maybe a little bit of a text message in there as well, without being too salesy. So that's something you kind of have to play with as well, and figure out what people are out there want, what people like. Look at a lot of other people. Look what some of the big brands are doing. We commonly do that. We look at McDonald's, we look at Coke, we look at Red Bull, different things like that, and see what they're doing out there, and see how they're interacting with those. A lot of these people have direct ins with Facebook and know how to work those things. So that's a recommendation as well.
Just a quick little tip here as you're looking at our Facebook page and the timeline. On the left side, right below your logo image, is the About section. And what you can do with that is, if you put your website URL, like as we did here, www.tabsite.com, right within your description. So let me just go into ours so you can see it. So in our About section, our first sentence, it ends with the website, and as long as that fits within those two lines, that is pulled in and displayed right here on the timeline cover image. So that's a great tip to help you make sure that your website URL is always visible. And again, that totally complies with Facebook's protocols and rules, because it's not in the timeline image. It's totally separate from that. It's in the About section there. So let's see here. We got to get to the winner. And final things as we're wrapping up our hour. We're going to try to take some more questions here, but let's get through the winners here quickly, so that those of you on a schedule will be able to make that. And let's pull that name. And I have our winner as Susan Hamilton. Susan Hamilton. And Susan will be reaching out to you via your registration for the webinar. Congratulations on winning the Free for Life TabSite Gold Plan. So we'll be in touch with you, Susan, and glad to have you on board with us today.
All right, now for our special webinar deal. available to the first 20 people who sign up after this webinar, or right now for that matter, that use the code. It'll be available in the next 24 hours. You get a 25% discount on Gold Monthly TabSite for 12 months, or 25% off your first year of a Gold Yearly membership. So if you go to TabSite right now, and now's a great time to sign up, you get that discount. You enter the code Get TabSite Gold. You will receive that discount, and that is only available for the next 20 signups that use that code, and it will be available for 24 hours. So we encourage you to kind of jump on top of that. If you haven't signed up and are considering it, now's a great time to get in, and you can get a discount on that. So just to repeat that, enter the code Get TabSite Gold, and we'll look forward to that and hope you get in and get that discount.
And there was a question about that related to, is that just for new ones? So that's any upgrade. So say you have a monthly gold now, then you could move to the yearly gold and get that discount. If you have a silver now and you want to move up to gold, you can get that discount. Okay, so I think that we're going to call it a wrap for the day. We're going to continue to try to monitor and get to questions that have been asked here, and answer those on our Facebook page and via Twitter, and also here. So thanks for your time today. And again, this is being recorded. We will get this out to you for a video replay here in the next 8 to 12 hours. So watch our Facebook page for that. Also watch your email. We will send a follow-up to that. Our next webinar, we have a webinar coming up in June, which is another part of our monthly series on getting started with TabSite, where we go into TabSite widgets and explain details, how to use it, interact with it that way. So you can sign up at tabsite.com/webinar and find information there on our next upcoming events. I believe it's June 13th, if I was to say that off the top of my head. But there'll be more information coming out on that. Again, thanks for being with us today. We're going to try to take a look at questions and get those out to you. Some answers. Thank you.